Hello everybody, this is your first English session. You are all welcome to grade 7. I hope you all enjoy English classes. I am teacher Safa. I am going to teach you English during this year. Uh, Today we're not going to talk about lots of things. It's gonna be a summary or an overview for the curriculum and for the first theme that we are going to cover during the first semester. So let's get started. First of all, I just want to tell you that I hope that you all fulfill your dreams, achieve your goals, and I hope that this year will be a fulfilling one where you gain more knowledge and confidence. And I just need you to know that these two tools, I mean knowledge and confidence, these two tools are very important. Knowledge and confidence are very important in order to succeed in life. So, as I said, knowledge and confidence are two important tools, two basic tools, let's say, in order to succeed in life. These two tools help you to succeed in life. So, here at the International School of Innovation at ISI, our mission, our job, our duty as teachers and administrators is to help you master those two tools. I mean confidence and knowledge. Okay, so let's get started. This is just an overview, and now we are going to move to the next slide, which is an overview of this year's curriculum. Okay, so we are going to discuss now what are the most important points that we are going to cover, the objectives that we have to cover throughout this year. It's just an overview, a general view. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start with the reading comprehension skills and strategies. The first thing that you have to learn or you should know is how to answer questions appropriately. I mean, how to answer comprehension questions based on a certain text or on a certain paragraph. These are called comprehension questions. We are going to learn how to answer them appropriately, how to answer them correctly. The second, so this is the first point. The second point is to evaluate the significance of a title to a text. Okay, I mean by that, to relate a title to a text. You know that the title is always related to the text. The title is the general idea of the text, so this is also very important. One of the most important points in English, especially in reading comprehension, is figuring out meanings of unfamiliar words using context clues, which is a very important skill. We are going to learn about it later. Something also very important is identifying the author's purpose. I mean by author's purpose is why did the author write such a text or a story or a poem or whatever. Another skill is identifying author's tone. We mean by tone the mood of the writer, the way the writer is expressing his ideas. Is he humorous? Is he serious? Is he angry? Is he happy? Is he sad? The tone, okay? Also, we are going to learn this during the upcoming lessons, hopefully. Something also very important is find evidence in the text to support your answer. We mean by finding evidence is justifying your answer. Okay, so when you answer a certain question, you need to justify, you need to clarify, you need to prove that you are sure of your answer. You need to prove that your answer is correct. So that's why we usually find evidence in the text to support our answers. Another very important skill also is identifying cause and effect relationship, which is a very important skill. It's going to be the first skill during this year. The first comprehension skill that we're going to cover is cause effect relationship. Another important thing is paraphrasing and summarizing. These two are different. Many students mistake between them, but they are completely different. We are going to learn how to paraphrase a text, which means writing a text using our own words, and summarizing a given text, which is writing it but in a shorter form, just to mention the most important ideas or details in the text. So this is an overview of the reading comprehension skills and strategies. Let's now move to the second part, which in grammar. There are lots of grammar lessons that we have to cover. First of all, we're going to start with the simple present tense, present progressive, and present perfect tense. Then the present perfect progressive. So the first thing that we are going to cover is the tenses, the four tenses, which is simple tenses, present tenses, simple present, present progressive, present perfect tense, and present perfect progressive tense. Actually, the first 2 semesters we are going to cover all the tenses. It's going to be a bit boring, but we have to cover all the tenses in order to use these tenses in writing, which is very important also. The second group of lessons is the past tenses, which is also similar to the above. Simple past, past progressive, past perfect, and past perfect progressive. Also, these are 4 lessons, 4 chapters related to 1 unit, which is the past tenses. The third part is the future. It's a bit smaller than the ones above. We are just going to cover the simple future and the future progressive tense. Let's now move to the other lessons. We have the subject-verb agreement, countable, uncountable nouns. This is very important. Inversions, clauses, prepositions, WH questions, active and passive voice, quoted and reported speech. Also, these are very important grammar lessons. Also, hopefully, we are going to cover them during semesters 1 and 2. So these are the grammar lessons that we are going to cover throughout this year. Some of them are going to be covered during the first and second semester, and the others are going to be covered during semester 3 and 4. Now we move to the third part, which is writing. In writing, this year it's divided into 3 parts, or let's say 3 big titles. The first title is the expository writing. This is the first type of writing. The second title is the narrative essay, and the third title is the descriptive essay. So these are the big titles. Now we move to the lessons that we are going to cover throughout the year. First of all, we are going to cover all expository writings. I mean, cause-effect essay, advantages, disadvantages essay, problem solution, and comparison contrast essay. These 4 are expository writing. These 4 are expository essays. So we are going to cover the expository writing first during semesters 1 and 2. Then we are going to move to the second lesson, or the second big title, which is the narrative essay. And after that, we move to the third big title, which is descriptive essay. This is what we are going to cover during this year in writing. Now I'm I'm just going to make a quick overview concerning the themes that we are going to cover. This is very important because the themes that you are going to cover this year are completely different than the ones you covered last year in grade 6. The themes here are more mature, more related to our society, to our real life. They are close to our real lives. First theme that we're going to cover is poverty. It's related to poverty, to hunger, to starvation, to street kids, to child labor, and so on. The second theme is health and nutrition. Health and nutrition is really related to junk food, healthy food, to sports, the importance of sports, the importance of having a healthy diet, and so on. The third theme is famous scientists. Famous scientists is a theme that tells about famous people who were famous in science, especially. Okay, I mean by famous in science, like scientists and so on. Theme number 4 is endangered species. This theme also tells us about the endangered species, endangered animals, why they are endangered, the reasons, and what is this leading to. And also it sheds light on government's role in order to let's say eliminate this issue, to stop people from hunting people. Also, this theme discusses overhunting and many things more. Theme number 5 is expressing feelings. Actually, this theme is related to teenagers. It sheds light on the problems that teenagers face, maybe at school, bullying problems, problems with their parents, just some kind of problems that you guys face daily. Theme number 6 is community. It talks about the society in general, about charity, about NGOs, about helping others, and so on. Great Explorers is similar to famous scientists, but Great Explorers tells us about people who explored, people who discovered something. They're not scientists, they're adventurers who really discovered something because they love adventures and they love exploring. The last theme, which is a very nice and easy one, is travel and tourism. This theme discusses the kinds of tourism, why do people travel, what are the causes and effects of tourism, what are the, let's say, the most attractive countries that people visit every year, and so on. Now we're going to move to the last slide. In this slide, I'm not going to explain anything. All what I want from you guys is to watch the video, and during our Zoom live
This is Joshua.
we are going to discuss
He's hungry.
together. And
Today, he's not eaten any food. Literally nothing. He's not just hungry, he's starving. In all reality, Joshua will die of hunger-related disease, maybe not today, but not that too long in the future. He'll join the other 11,000 children who die daily of hunger-related diseases. Now, Joshua is not in some barren desert like the Sahara where there is no food. Literally, a 5-minute walk up this hill, there's a small supermarket where you can buy as much food as you really want or would need. Joshua's issue is that he's an orphan. His guardian neighbour is trying to raise her own 3 children by herself and then also look after Joshua and his little sister. But she has no job. How do you put food in the belly of your own children, let alone your dead neighbour's children? She tries, but what's her chances? She's got no education, she's got no unemployment benefits, she's got no social security. It's not that she's fallen through the cracks of the system, there is no system. She literally has no way to put food into Joshua's belly. This is Joshua. He watched today as some lucky children went to school. He so wishes he could go to school, but it costs 50 cents to go to school here. And he hasn't got 50 cents. 50 cents. He's not alone. Most people in this slum, they live on $1 or $2 a day. How do you take the dollars that you earn and pay rent, buy some food, and still have 50 cents left over to pay for school fees? You just can't. He won't go to school ever. No education, no learning. He'll remain illiterate, not able to read or write. And Joshua will stay here and die in this slum. And along with maybe the other 60 million children in the next decade who live in the slums on our planet. Now, I know that the Bible has lots to tell us about the poor. In fact, there are over 2,000 verses in the Bible that tell us who seemingly read and follow the Bible that we should take the side of the poor and the oppressed. And we all know that if we follow Jesus, we're following someone who himself was poor. But theology is never done in a vacuum. You see, it's one thing to believe that God loves the poor. It's another thing to see it firsthand or see it through video and say, okay, God loves the poor, and because I love that same God, I should love the poor also. But who we listen to determines what we hear. Where we stand determines what we see. What we do determines who we are. So who are you? See, Joshua's only problem is that he was born in the wrong place. He didn't choose to be born here. So should he be condemned to a living hell now because of a choice he never made? And now something else is about to happen to Joshua and his family. It's about to get dark in this slum. And there's no lights. There's no police present. I mean, during the day, we see the chaos, we see the trash, we see the smell of sewage, we see people walking around, we see them barely surviving by their living. But at dark, we don't see what happens. 1 out of every 3 women in Haruma have been beaten or abused. Nearly 1 out of 2 10-year-old to 19-year-old girls, 45% of them, have been raped in this slum. Turn the sun off, and this slum and little Joshua live in fear of violence. And in the dark of night, no one knows what happens. No one's here filming it. It's hidden, but it's real. But this is Joshua. He's still here. He can't escape. And what did he do wrong? Nothing. Nothing. What we do determines who we are. Is there someone out there who's willing to walk the way of Jesus, to be his hands and his feet? Is there something or someone who can pierce the darkness and bring light into even the darkest place on earth? So here's the good news. There are some incredible people who live in this slum who are walking the way of Jesus to help Joshua, to give him food, to give him a safe place to grow up, an education to empower him. You know, for 17 cents, food can be put in his belly. $35 a month will give him an education to empower him out of the cycle of poverty. And the good news is, you can join this movement. You can be a part of helping this Joshua and many other Joshuas. Join the movement to kick extreme poverty off the face of the planet and live out the gospel of Jesus Christ in a most powerful, real way.